class 10. Today in the video session of geography class, I'm going to continue with the regional geography of India. Okay, the last video session we ended up to the location of India, and we discussed on many other physical features of India, the different landforms and all. Today we are going to discuss on the 4 physiographic divisions of India. As we know that to study very accurately of any place or region, we have to divide the place or a region into many different regions, okay, subdivided, and then we can study it easily. Okay, so here of our country India, the physiographic division has been divided into 4. Okay, that is the northern Himalayas. Already I told you before in the last video session, the northern Himalayas, the northern plains, okay, then the Deccan Plateau and the coastal plains. Okay, the eastern and the western are the coastal plains. Okay, northern Himalayas, northern plains, Deccan Plateau and the coastal plains. So in this way 4 divisions have been done of our country India's physiographic divisions. Now we go to number 1, the northern Himalayas. Okay, this northern Himalayas are the highest mountain system in the world. As we know that Mount Everest is located in this mountain system. Okay, so Himalayan mountain system, it is known as mountain system. It is very huge. Okay, this mountain system crosses India, Nepal, Bhutan and China. But in the chapter, we are only going to study on the mountain system of Himalayas which are located in our country, in India only. Okay, so in India, it stretches from Nanga Parbat in the west. Okay, Nanga Parbat in the west to Arunachal Pradesh in the east. So Himalayas are not running north to south. It runs east to west. Okay, and what is the length of the Himalayas? The length of the Himalayas here is 2500 kilometers. Okay, and the width is 240 kilometers to 500 kilometers. In some places it is 500, in some areas it is 240. So that is the width of the Himalayas. Okay, and what is the total area it covers? The total area of the mountain system of Himalayas in India is 5 million square kilometer. Okay, 5 million square kilometer is the total area of Himalayas. Okay, and the highest height in our country of the Himalayas is 8,000 meters. Okay, 8,000 meters above sea level. So that is the height of the mountain system of Himalayas in India. Okay, now we come to the history of Himalayas, how Himalayas were created. Okay, it has a history. It says there after the research and all by the geologists, they came to know that this place Himalayas in ancient time it was a sea. What sea was it? Tethys Sea. Tethys. Tethys Sea. And that also in the Tertiary period. Okay, in the Tertiary period there are many periods, glaciation period. Okay, so in the Tertiary period this Tethys Sea used to flow over here. Okay, so I told you that the Himalayas were the place where Himalayas is, it was a sea. That sea is the Tethys Sea. So you can see here in the drawing, okay, that this is India and there is the Himalayas. Okay, and in the ancient time it was not like this. The whole continent were joined with one another. Okay, So the northern land was known as the Angara land. The northern part, okay, was known as the Angara land, and the southern one was known as the Gondwana land. Okay, you can see there, Angara land was the northern one and the Gondwana was the southern land. Okay, and in between the Tethys Sea was there. In between the Angara and the Gondwana land, what was there? Tethys Sea. And gradually this Gondwana and the Gondwana and the Angara land, they are moving, or they are still moving. Okay, as we know that the whole world, the earth is made of different plates, huge, large plates and small plates, and all these plates are moving towards one another. Some are moving out from one another, and thus there are sometimes colliding with one another, submerging with one another, and thus earthquakes are existing. Okay, so this Gondwana land, it is moving towards the Angara land. And what happens here, that a time had come in the Tertiary period that the Gondwana land came so closer to the Angara land that this Gondwana land submerged inside. Okay, it got subducted under the Angara land, and when it subducted under the Angara land, the particles of the Gondwana had erupted as mountains. Okay, had erupted as mountains, and these mountains are like folded mountains. Okay, and they have emerged as the Himalayas. Okay, the mountain system of Himalayas, and it's very newly formed, not ancient ones. Okay, so it is believed that, not believed also, it has been observed by the archaeologists or the geologists, sorry, that the mountain system is still going on. It is still, the mountains are being they are being formed still now. Okay, that the Gondwana land is still moving and it is subducted. Okay, these are some of the geological terms what I am saying. Okay, so in this way, the Angara land in the north and the Gondwana in the south, they came towards one another, and the Gondwana, which was more dense and hard soil, it got subducted inside, and the deposits, okay, with the pressurization, it started to erupt out. Okay, and it had took a shape of folded mountains in the Himalayan mountain system. Okay, so in this way was the formation of the Himalayas. Okay, so now these Himalayas are very high in altitude, and thus we see that they have glacier, they are snow peaked throughout the year. Okay, because of the height, and due to this snow, what comes out? Origin of the rivers. Okay, origin of rivers have come out from these places, from this Himalayas, and from the Himalayas, from that snow, what comes out now? The moving river of ice. What is moving river of ice? That is the glacier. So glaciers have come out from the mountain peaks of Himalayas, and these glaciers, their length is from 3 to 5 kilometers. Okay, 3 to 5 kilometer is the length of the glaciers. Now about the Himalayas. When we learn about the Himalayas, that this whole system, it runs from west to east, or you may say east to west also. So it runs from west to east, and it is also, its length is how much? I told you 2500 kilometers. Okay, now this Himalayan ranges or the south system in India has been marked with three different divisions. Okay, three different types of Himalayan mountain system. Number one is the higher or greater Himalayas. Okay, second one is the lesser Himalayas. Third one is the outer Himalayas. Okay, greater or higher, lesser, then the outer. So which one is highest over here? The higher or the greater Himalayas. It is towards the north of our country, means it's towards the China, Tibet and Nepal. Okay, so these Himalayan mountain system is 6,000 meters in height. The average height is 6,000 meters. Okay, then in the middle runs the lesser Himalayas. Their height is in average 4,000 meters. Then the width is 60 to 80 kilometers, the lesser Himalayas. Okay, then towards the south is the outer Himalayas. These Himalayan mountains are less in height. What is the lowest height, average height? 1,000 meters. Okay, and the width is 15 kilometers to 50 kilometers. So three parallel mountain systems are running in the northern Himalayas. Three parallel mountain systems. Number one, greater or the higher Himalayas. Number two, lesser Himalayas. Number three, the outer Himalayas. Outer Himalayas may be also known as another name known as Shivaliks. Okay, Siwaliks. Shivaliks. Okay, so here this Himalayas is home to many rivers. Many rivers of northern India originates from Himalayas. Okay, Ganga, Yamuna and its tributaries. The river Ganga flows from the glacier known as the Gangotri. You have to keep in mind, this question comes. Okay, then Gangotri. Okay, and in this part of northeast, okay, this part of northeast, this Manipur hills, Mizoram hills, all these, Arunachal, these are also a part of the Himalayan mountain system. Okay, so all these together comes under northern Himalayas. Next, we'll discuss on the northern plains. Okay, northern plains. Which one? This green part I have colored here. This is the northern plains. Okay, the northern plains. It is between the Himalayan ranges and the Deccan Plateau. This yellow part is Deccan Plateau. So in between Himalayas and Deccan Plateau lies the northern plains. Here also you'll find, okay, the Brahmaputra plain. So this all together, it is known as Indo-Ganges Brahmaputra plain. Indo refers to river Indus, Ganges, river Ganga, and Brahmaputra of the northeast India. Okay, this the length of this northern plain is 2,400 kilometers, and the width, okay, the breadth or the width is 240 kilometers to 320 kilometer. Okay, of Ganga plain. Ganga plain is 240 to 320 kilometer is the width. The Brahmaputra plain, its width is, Brahmaputra plain's width is 80 kilometers. Okay, and when we have this total area of the northern plains, it is 7 million square kilometer. So this is the huge plain of India. Okay, and again this is a huge plain, so it becomes very difficult for us to study. So we have again divided into 5 plains. Okay, the northern plains have been subdivided into 5 plains. Number 1, the western plain. This western plain, it is very dry and arid. That is the Thar desert region. Okay, then number 2, Punjab Haryana plain. Okay, Punjab Haryana plain. Then comes number 3, the Ganga plain. Okay, then the North Bengal plain. Here North Bengal Plain, and Brahmaputra Plain. Number 5, Brahmaputra Plain. So these are the 5 different subdivided plains of northern plains. Okay. Now this Brahmaputra river, how has it made a plain here in northeast? Brahmaputra is one of the largest river, okay, of Asia, and it flows from Tibet, from a glacier, and the glacier name is Chema Yudung. Okay, it flows from a glacier known as Chema Yudung. It flows through Arunachal Pradesh, enters Assam, and then goes to Bangladesh and meets with river Ganga. When it meets with river Ganga, it flows down to drain in Bay of Bengal, thus making a nice plain in northeast. Okay, that is mainly in Assam. Okay, and the Ganga here plain is how this Ganga plain has been formed with the help of Ganga and its tributaries. Name some Ganga and its tributaries. The Ganga tributaries, these are Jamuna, Alaknanda, Gomti, okay, Ghaggar, Gandak, Son river. So many rivers and its tributaries, they are forming this alluvial plain in Ganga plain here. What about this Punjab and Haryana plain? What are the rivers which are forming this plain over here? That those rivers are river Satluj, river Beas, and river Ravi. Okay, these 3 rivers mainly form the Punjab and Haryana plain. Okay, North Bengal plain also formed by the tributaries of Ganga and some Bengal rivers like Damodar and all. Okay, so now here one plain is left. That plain I already had told you, this is dry plain. It comes under the northern plain itself, but it is a dry arid region. It includes in the desertic plain. Okay, so today we have discussed up to 2 physiographic division. In the next video we will continue with the other 2 physiographic division, that is the Deccan Plateau and the coastal plains. Okay, so today up to here, please I remind you that you draw the map, try to draw and learn how to draw the map of India, and do all these physical divisions in the map, because it's very important. Okay, the map drawing or physical division will surely come, because some 2 main important lessons have been omitted from your syllabus. Okay, so I remind you now and then, please try to learn drawing of India's map. Okay, so today I end up here. Thank you.
Stay home, stay safe.
Do it for self.
Do it for your family. Do it for India.
Let's break the chain of COVID-19.
हम होंगे कामयाब, जय हिंद. हम होंगे कामयाब, जय हिंद.
हम होंगे कामयाब, जय हिंद.